Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I am going to be reviewing a case that I heard about. Okay, so let's just look into this article. So the two people that is involved, so Courtney Clenney and her deceased boyfriend, I believe it's his first or last name that this article could be going by, but it's Obumseli. So her lawyer is saying that this was done out of self-defense. And so there's been a couple of things that have came out about this case. There is a secret recording that Obumseli had in his phone, which captures Courtney making racist slurs, as well as threats. What else has came out? A recording of them both in an elevator in their building, the 911 call that Courtney placed, and there's also a video was released of like a body cam footage of the police that came, the Miami police officers. So I guess days before, the Miami police visited their apartment, and it looks like Courtney is the only one out there talking to them. And I don't know if Obumseli was there or not. He could be at work, I don't know. And I could do that in a separate video. I can review all this. Onlyfans model heard cursing using racial slurs against slain boyfriend in recordings. The recordings were made by Christian Obumseli sometime before he was stabbed in the chest back on April 3rd, allegedly at the hands of girlfriend Courtney Clenney. So this is an article by Alyssa Hyman and Brian Hamacher. It was published November 2nd, 2022. And it was also updated on November 3rd of 2022. So I'm going to get right into the article. A social media model accused of fatally stabbing her boyfriend in their luxury Miami condo is heard screaming and cursing at him and using racial slurs in newly released recordings. The recordings were made by Christian Obumseli sometime before he was stabbed in the chest on April 3rd, allegedly at the hands of girlfriend Courtney Clenney. The recordings were made by Christian Obumseli sometime before he was stabbed in the chest on April 3rd, allegedly at the hands of girlfriend Courtney Clenney. They're part of the case against Clenney, who's facing a second-degree murder charge in the stabbing, and were released Wednesday after a records request by NBC6. The recordings, presumably made by Obumseli on his phone, show little video but capture audio of several arguments between the couple. Quote, "Decide whether or not you're done gaslighting me," Clenney tells Obumseli in one of the recordings. Quote, "Courtney, that's a effing threat." Obumseli responds, "I apologize, but you hit me." Quote, "Shut the F up, B." Quote, Clenney whispers back. In another recording, Clenney calls Obumseli, who was black, the N-word multiple times, and tells him to, quote, "man up, B." Quote. Clenney seemed to be angry over the fact that Obumseli said hello to another woman on a bike ride and didn't tell her about it afterwards. Quote, "Shut up and let me slap you, dumb A." Quote. She later says in the recording, then yells at him to find her phone. Quote, "Find my effing phone and charge it." Quote. In response to the recordings, Clenney's attorney released a statement on Wednesday. She's not going to trial for her lifestyle, her previous arguments, or recorded rants. She is going to trial for defending herself against a violent struggle with her ex-boyfriend for which she feared for her life. Courtney is a victim of domestic abuse, the statement read. Snapshots of evidence without context will prevent our client from receiving a fair trial where the evidence will show that Courtney acted in self-defense, quote. Obumseli, 27, and Clenney, 26, have moved to South Florida from Texas in January of 2022. Clenney, who went by the name Courtney Taylor on social media, including OnlyFans, has more than 2 million Instagram followers. Miami-Dade prosecutors said the two have been involved in an extremely tempestuous and combative relationship that culminated in April 3rd stabbing in their unit at the One Paraíso condo building on Northeast East 7th Ave in Edgewater. New photos are released Wednesday show the bloody crime scene investigators found in the apartment. They also show Clenney's body covered in Obumseli's blood. A 911 call by Clenney after the stabbing and released last month captures some of Obumseli's last moments. Quote, "I'm gonna die. I can't feel my arms." Quote, Obumseli can be heard saying in the background during the call, quote, "I can't feel my arms. My boyfriend is dying of a stab wound." Quote, Clenney said in the call, "Please God, please come save my boyfriend." Quote, prosecutors said that Obumseli was the victim of domestic violence, but Clenney's attorneys have said she was the victim of an abusive relationship and that she stabbed him in self-defense. The release of the 911 call came after the release of a Miami police body cam video that showed officers responding to the condo building after a reported domestic dispute between Clenney and Obumseli just 2 days before the stabbing. Clenney could be heard saying she wants a restraining order against Obumseli. Quote, "How can I make myself first because I know him and he would do it?" Quote, she tells the officers, quote, "I have not always been the victim, but right now I'm the freaking victim. I'm scared to walk my dogs." Quote, at a news conference shortly after Clenney's arrest, Miami-Dade State Attorney Catherine Fernandez-Rundle showed surveillance footage of the couple engaged in a violent encounter in the building's elevator on February 21st, about a month after they moved in. Quote, "It certainly appears that the defendant was aggressively attacking Christian," quote, Fernandez-Rundle said. Clenney remains behind bars without bond in Miami-Dade where she awaits trial. Thank you so much for listening. I'm going to have a part 2 up, so like, comment, and subscribe, and click the bell to be notified. Thank you.